So can you imagine what the last 18 months would have looked like without some of the technology that we take for granted? This includes Zoom, WebEx, the computers that we use on a daily basis, our cell phones, electricity, the ventilators that were required in the hospitals, imaging equipment, and various other tools that we relied on this past 18 months. These were, in lots of cases, designed by engineers and computer scientists. And so we can all agree that we need a lot more of them, especially as we progress into the future. The National Science Board in 2020 and the Pentagon in 2021 said that the United States is losing its competitive advantage because we're not graduating enough engineers and computer scientists. So with that being said, we realize that there's an urgency in meeting this need, especially of more engineers and computer scientists. What Miami University's College of Engineering and Computing does is that we build on our liberal arts foundation. So our technical core is built on this liberal arts foundation, and that is what makes our graduates special. So with that, and the other thing that I always keep in mind is that the students that are entering today will be graduating in 2060 or beyond. So if we think about our students that will be retiring in 2060 or beyond, and that is a pretty scary thought when you think of that long ahead. The skills that will be required by these students are actually what will transcend our traditional engineering and computer science departments. We will have to re-envision what our degrees should look like for these students so that they will be successful in the future. One of the best things that Miami's College of Engineering and Computing, as well as various other academic units do, is provide our students with lots of experiential learning opportunities. In the College of Engineering and Computing, we have a signature program, the Socially Engaged Engineering and Computing, under whose umbrella we have the Miami University Center for Assistive Technology, the Grand Challenger Scholars Program, a humanitarian engineering and computer science minor, and various other opportunities that they get to engage in study abroad or study away that provide some of these experiential learning opportunities. We also provide leadership training within the college through the Lockheed Martin Leadership Institute and our latest Seeing Differently program. So with all this being said, when we think about some of our degrees of the future, some of the degrees that we are rolling out is a Bachelor of Science in Robotics Engineering. In fact, it's the first of its kind in the state of Ohio. We just admitted our first class this fall, and we hope to have a lot more students that enroll in this program. Some of the other degrees that we are thinking of is a Bachelor of Arts degree in Computer Science and Programming. This comes from a firm belief that computer science and programming is a skill that lots of Miami graduates require. So we wanted to make the path to access that easier for all students that enroll at Miami. We also have a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity that we are working on, and that should come online in this year or next year. And that is something that is critical to any organization that exists now, that we have cybersecurity graduates who can work in those enterprises. The other degree program that we should have soon that will come online is a master's degree in clinical engineering. And what you can do with this degree is actually train engineers to serve in hospital settings. And this actually became a critical need as we saw during the pandemic. The other option with a master's in clinical engineering is to work in biomedical device companies because they will have a greater understanding of the regulatory landscape that they face. Meanwhile, we are also modernizing our existing degree programs, especially in the first 2 years of the engineering and computing curriculum. We would like to put in a signature experience that will provide students the contextual learning that they need for lots of the subject matter that they're learning in their math and science, as well as liberal arts classrooms, to see the connection with engineering and computing. We just think this will be a critical skill that is required, and it will help with retention and success of all our students, including a diverse student body that comes into the college. So if you think about engineering and computing as a profession, we have been predominantly white and male for a long time due to social and cultural factors. So this is something that we're working very hard to change in the college so that we create an inclusive learning environment that is welcoming of all students, whatever their race, color, gender identity, any other visible or invisible differences that they might have. So we are also rolling out a strong K-12 outreach program with the new assistant director of outreach that we have hired. So she will be working with the local schools in the area to make engineering and computing activities a part of the curriculum that K-12 students might engage in. And we are hoping that these students will come to Miami's College of Engineering, and that way also enhance the number of students that are interested in the profession as a whole. Now I'd like to actually give you 2 examples of students that have gone through our program or are in the process of going through the program. The first one that I'll touch on is Lexi Adams. Lexi is actually, she just graduated from a chemical paper and biomedical engineering program. And during her stay here, like lots of our students, engaged in undergraduate research with her faculty advisor, Dr. Andrew Jones. So the project that she worked on was to derive psilocybin, a psychedelic drug that is used to treat depression, from bacteria. She's actually a co-patent holder with her faculty member on this research that she did. As a result of some of her work as well as her performance at Miami, she received the Goldwater Scholarship, the Astronaut Scholarship, and the National Science Foundation's Graduate Research Fellowship this past year. And currently, this fall, she has enrolled in the PhD program at Stanford. So that is one of our graduates that we recently graduated. The other student that I wanted to touch on is Asim Fauzi. Asim is actually an Ohio native, and he had the experience of going on a study abroad trip with Professor Jong-Wei Koo to Korea, to the Korean Institute of Science and Technology. Based on the research that he did, as well as the networks that he built up there, he was able to start a company which is actually a virtual reality platform for hosting large concerts. This is his second startup. He has been quite successful with this startup as well. So that's the kind of impact that our students have through their ingenuity as well as through their creative thinking processes that are nurtured and cultivated by the College of Engineering and Computing faculty and staff, as well as all our faculty on campus. I would like to brag about some of our successes this past year. So the US News and World Report ranked our College of Engineering, especially our engineering programs, in the top 10 among public institutions with masters as a highest degree. The Great Business Schools of 2021 ranked our engineering management program number 17 nationwide. Our software engineering program, in fact, is ranked by various entities in the top 10, because of the excellent student outcomes of our graduates, as well as the placement potential for these students. San Francisco-based Code Signal actually does a coding assessment of students in our programs, and ranked Miami University students number 2, just behind the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So as you can see here, we have lots of exciting things going on in the College of Engineering and Computing, with some of our new programs as well as existing programs. I hope you'll come and join this inclusive and innovative community of learners and thinkers. Thank you.